It's Monday. It's morning.
And baby girl, it's macabre.
Ooh, straight off his jazz album.
Monday morning, macabre, baby. Yeah, I've been recording a jazz album, ladies and gentlemen. It's entitled Creamy Peanut Butter, the Crunchy Edition.
Wow, makes you think with a name like that.
Really, it's really kind of a social commentary type thing. It's
Too many people
very
out there are
hard-hitting.
claiming to be creamy when they're crunchy.
exact and vice versa, honestly. It's like pick
See you,
a side.
Washington.
Hey, politicians, we're on to you.
Trying to be all creamy when you're crunchy.
Yeah. So, Kyle Rittenhouse. Let's get into it.
Well, Hunter Butt, yeah. Imagine if we did those.
That would be hilarious. If
Just
we
took
had
a
one
huge
episode.
turn. Just like to political conspiracy theories.
Like season 4, we just get really heavy into politics.
Oh, that would be awful.
Oh, that would be. That's the way to grow an audience, though, baby.
People would download it and be like, "What?"
Yeah, I'm chatting with my
Come
buddy.
on, dude.
Chatting with my buddy Ye the other day, and I swear to God.
Remember when he had a lyric in a song like "More Than I Hate the Nazis"?
Yeah, and you're like, dude, you were acting crunchy, but you're creamy AF.
Dude, that talk about someone who tried to be creamy at one point,
Right.
but
And
we
is
all
now
found out
crunchy.
eventually he's crunchy.
Right.
Also, I don't mean to damn crunchy peanut butter in that way, but
I prefer. Are you a crunchy or a creamy?
I
Not politically. in your in your peanut butter.
now I'm scared if I say
persuasion.
crunchy, you're gonna think I'm a Nazi.
In your
No,
peanut butter
I like
persuasion.
crunchy on a sandwich, but if I'm making a smoothie or putting it, like doing anything with it, I prefer creamy.
Well, okay, wait. Can you define doing anything with it?
Like,
Because
you
dogs
ever,
across America are freaking out.
like, you ever take peanut butter and spread it on like Ritz crackers? Or
okay. So
like,
spreading it.
you know, you
on
use it as an
food.
accessory to some other food. Whereas peanut butter and jelly sandwich, the peanut butter's the main show. Everything else there is to
Sure.
to get it to your mouth.
I mean, I
that
think that
is
a
crunchy
cracker
for
with
me.
peanut butter, it's still just a transport vehicle for peanut butter.
I guess, but for some reason, crunchy hits different on those.
You don't like crunchy on those, or you do like crunchy on those?
No. Crunchy on the sandwich only, smooth on
That's
everything else.
So weird. I
I'm
just
telling
crunchy
you
all
how
day.
I've never thought about it till just now, and I'm just that's stream of consciousness.
Well, I'm glad
Again,
that we really
I'm
got
not a
into
Nazi.
Let's clarify this. Scones,
Because nowadays,
Not with the
apparently, we have
Nazis.
to.
but he does like crunchy peanut butter sometimes. So we'll keep an eye on him. But I'll let you guys know what I find.
I am one of those people that just keeps adding music to a playlist. I don't like do any kind of what's the word? Like curating of it. So my playlist is like 600 songs.
Okay.
And I didn't realize till recently that like on shuffle that like a Kanye song came up and I was like, "Oh."
And you're like, I'm not allowed.
If I stream this, it supports him, but I also love this song
So,
because
like,
Graduation album was sick, but it's because it's
Yeah.
different than like other like dead people or people in jail, like where people in jail probably
Scones,
still supports them.
Would you rather be dead or in jail?
Ooh,
Hard
I
question.
need- I need to know the circumstances for both. Because if it's like Norwegian jail, then yeah, that all the time, forever. I wish I was in there right now.
You went to jail doing what you love, and you died doing what you love,
Okay,
which is going to jail.
so both of them are smooth peanut butter on Ritz crackers.
Yeah, essentially.
I go to jail
I mean,
for
if
that.
we're gonna put a label on, I don't like to label things, but if we're gonna label it, I mean, it sounds smooth to me.
God damn, what country am I going to jail in?
That sounds like such an insult. If I was just like, yeah, he's kind of a smooth peanut butter, if you know what I mean.
He acts
you'd
like
be
a smooth
what?
peanut butter, but it's like in the beginning of Little Giants when the kids like has his Cheetos and the coach is like crunchy or puffed and they're like puffed and he's like fucking wimp.
I don't know what Little Giants is.
Oh, it's a movie from the 90s. It's like
I know the Iron Giant.
a Sandlot or a
okay.
Mighty
Yeah,
Ducks,
yeah.
but it's about a football team.
Oh, so okay. I like how we covered all the sports back in the 90s with like children
Yeah, that
or
or
dogs.
yeah, kids hiding animals from their family.
Yep. Yep.
Like
big theme of the 90s.
Yes, big time.
Yup.
God.
Oh man. God help us.
That was when like Disney didn't own Marvel or Star Wars, so they had to come up with their
Yeah.
own shit instead of just making new stuff in that univerce. What if
those
they're
were the
all
days.
connected, like the Flipper,
Oh,
Airbud,
the sand.
Free
Yeah, there's
Willy?
like a cinematic universe for.
Ooh, I like it.
Ooh.
Let's start that
Ooh.
conspiracy.
All right, started. It's official. Scones, I got a topic here today. I don't know if you
Hell
want to
yeah.
talk about it or if you just want to talk about Smooth and Creepy Peanut Butter for another half hour.
Was the topic smoothie or crunchy? You just said smooth and creamy.
Oh, smooth or crunchy. It's pretty crunchy, I'd say.
Okay, let's get into it then.
It's about Nazi.
I was gonna say the third one.
I guess we've just identified that crunchy just means Nazi. It's the same.
What if your topic was World War II, the European theater? And we just talked about it for 6 hours.
The year was 1942.
The Battle of Stalingrad.
It has to be done like a History Channel narrator.
Yeah, Ken Burns.
The Allies marched on. Yeah, it's just
This
like, why do they always
podcast
talk
was made
like that?
by Ken Burns.
Yeah, this is a Dan Carlin episode. We're gonna do a 10-hour crunchy peanut butter story.
You don't want Dan Carlin. The people want George Carlin. So let's get him the yucks.
So today, Scones, I'ma be bringing you a pretty chilling story.
Wait, can I pause before? How many of our listeners do you think know who George Carlin is? Sadly,
George Carlin or Dan Carlin?
George Carlin. I don't know who Dan Carlin is. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, he's the hardcore history host.
Okay, George Carlin.
George Carlin, I'd say 90%, honestly.
You really think so?
I think George
you think people
Carlin,
sub 25 years old know
dude,
who George Carlin is?
I think if you took a poll, he would be the #1 comedian of all time. Like, I think
over Richard Pryor.
I think that would be
Dave
like kind of like a creamy, crunchy situation where it's like we both. It's one of the two.
Okay, so who's the Mount Rushmore? You got
Mount Rushmore is Pryor, Lenny Bruce, George Carlin, and Juice WRLD.
I was gonna say you're gonna leave Dave Chappelle off there and put Juice WRLD up there.
Yeah, those are my 4.
I don't know who Lenny Bruce is.
Lenny Bruce.
I've never listened to
I could
Lenny
do
Bruce.
an hour on Lenny Bruce. He was like the person who made stand up what it is today. He was the guy who like got arrested and like he was like mid 1900s, like when everyone was like, you can't say bad words. He was like getting on stage and saying things that were like way countercultural.
Oh, it's
to
when
the point
he
where
probably
got
like arrested for saying the word gay.
Yeah. He got arrested and like no, literally though, like he was like the creator of like modern stand-up, essentially, is what I would call it. Because before then it was like vaudeville, where they're like, bah, 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 bah. They're like, what did the raccoon say to the president?
Yeah,
it was like stuff like that.
Well, you did leave off. Let's see, Dave Chappelle, Joan Rivers,
the
Robin
Jonas
Williams,
Brothers,
who I feel
Robin
like are
Williams
all usually
is
mentioned in the top.
I do have Robin. He's one of the records I have, and the point is, I got a chilling story.
Oh heck yeah! Let's get crunchy. Too much creamy already.
Yeah, we were getting real creamy. Let's get crunchy. This is the chilling story of the alphabet murders that targeted girls with double. What?
I was thinking like Google.
Like the parent company of Google. You mean?
Yeah.
I think more people know George Carlin than know that Google is owned by Alphabet Inc.
Really?
100%.
That's an apple to orange, but I still want to see the numbers.
No, I guarantee you, most people are like, Google is owned by another company? Like that. Anyway.
I think you're giving people younger than us a lot of credit for knowing George
I think
Carlin.
a lot of people younger than us know who George Carlin is. But
no, dude.
You think they know Alphabet?
No, but I think they're like, I don't know who George Carlin is. Charlie D'Amelio's the GOAT.
Like George Carlin, that like one of the impulsive guys?
Like exactly though. That's exactly how I feel about it. But maybe I'm also being old man yells at cloud about it. But anyway, let's get crunchy.
Anyway, so this is the alphabet murders that a serial killer targeted girls with double initials.
Heck yeah. Band.
Slick your crunch back.
And let that creamy fly.
Oh, no. Or yes. All right, so we're covered in creamy.
Oh,
After
man.
that,
Wait,
band.
so they had to be like Ashley Anderson or like
Yeah, there were only girls named Ashley Anderson.
Becky
Becky
Benson or like
Becky Benson or Carrie.
Kathy.
Let's go through the whole alphabet.
Yes, I was gonna say I'll go down.
What about Dino Dickwad? Zoe Zaldana.
There it is.
Hey.
Yo, did you know
afternoon-
Zoe
okay.
Saldana?
Yeah.
No, I'm not done yet. Do you know
Zoe sold donuts? Yeah, what about her?
she's been in 3 of the top 5 grossing movies of all time?
Yeah.
And no one's close.
Dougal,
Yep.
Dougal
Keep
2,
going. Yes.
Dougal Uprising,
Of course.
Dougal Reckoning,
Creative
and
choice.
Son of Dougal. The top 5 movies of all
I
time.
like
Grossing
Son
movies.
of Dougal. Jimmy's gonna like that one. Shout out Jimmy.
Yeah, hey, that was for you, Jimmy. I did not know that. But she probably made a bundle.
Oh yeah. I think it's just Avatar and then Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, well, there you go. Speaking of Avatar, new one's coming out. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Are we?
I'm doing my
Dude,
best.
talk
to keep it on
about
rails.
a long time. You want to hear how long it's been since the first Avatar came out?
10 years?
My first date and my first kiss was to Avatar.
Was Under the Purple Spaghetti?
Yeah, it was during the Purple
Oh,
Spaghetti was my
man.
first kiss. It went
Damn.
poorly. But I don't think
But the
she's a
movie
listener,
rocked.
but shout out.
Sh-
She
Shout
knows
out.
who she is.
Shout out Dino Dickwad for smooching scones in the cinema.
Yeah, it was wild. And so now I'm almost 30 and the second one's coming out. And I think that has to be my last kiss. I think I'm done after this one. After
Yeah, you gotta hang it up. You gotta hang the
Water
lips up on
Walkers
the.
or whatever it's called.
You come home, you say, "Honey, that's it." Rip your lips off, put them on the coat hanger.
I hope James Cameron is just so senile by the time this one comes out that it's just the Na'vi like finding the Titanic underwater or something.
That would be sick.
He's just
dude.
lost
And
his
then
mind.
And then it goes into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's like they find Captain America under the ice.
Yeah, and it makes no sense, but they're like, "Oh, we already spent this much money."
You're gonna see it, fucking losers. On the afternoon of November 16th, 1971, a young girl ran down the side of a highway in upstate New York. The child waved her arms as she fled a car backing toward her in the shoulder. She was wearing nothing from the waist down. Around 100 drivers passed the scene. None of them stopped.
Ooh.
Days later, yeah.
How do you
Days
not
later-
stop if clearly someone's not wearing clothes? They're in some shit.
Well, this was what, 1971? I'd be like, fucking hippie.
Yeah,
Just like,
fucking heavy. Turn up my George Carlin.
Yeah, turn on my Charlie D'Amelio. Days later, police found the body of a 10-year-old girl in a nearby gully. The shocking crime was only the first of the still unsolved alphabet murders, a series of child murders that occurred between 1971 and 1973 in Rochester. Each victim was a girl aged 10 or 11. Each girl's first name began with the same letter as her surname, and each girl's body was found in or near a town whose name began with the same letter as the girl's name.
This is
like some shit you get at like a murder mystery dinner.
I was gonna say this. Yeah, that or it's like an episode of Criminal Minds. Like it doesn't feel real enough.
Right, it feels right.
written.
It feels like it was written by Zoe Saldana.
She's so talented.
The disappearance and death of alphabet murder victim Carmen Cologne. Probably Cologne. It's probably not colon. It's
You don't know.
COLON, but it's COLON, but there's a
It's-
tilde
yeah.
over the, or not a tilde. What are those called? It's not a tilde.
Like
it's
a
just a little like
accent
dash.
mark.
Yeah, it's an accent mark over the O. So
Yeah, it's probably
I'm
Cologne.
gonna say Cologne. Yeah, probably. Which is a funny.
Yeah, English is stupid.
It's funny that Cologne and colon are polar opposites, but are spelled.
I mean,
Similarly. I guess there's a G when you spell it like Cologne, but
I mispronounce indictment on this show.
that's true. You said
and
it's
it's
like 8 times.
and it is such a stupid. I learned that word through hearing it, not reading it, and then to then face it face to face in person. It's
To
like
come face to face with my
I was like,
demons.
this is stupid. English is stupid.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, on the afternoon of her disappearance, Cologne's mother sent her to the local drugstore to pick up a prescription, according to the Democrat and Chronicle. After speaking with the pharmacist, Cologne stepped outside to wait for the prescription. Carmen Cologne was only a block and a half from home, but she never returned to the drugstore or to her house. The Cologne family called the police, who swept the neighborhood. 2 days later, a pair of teenagers on bicycles spotted a body near the Rochester suburb of Chile. Yikes. Within months, the police ran into a dead end. Billboards around the Rochester area begged for information about Cologne's death, promising a $6,000 reward. But still, the horrific crime went unsolved. The killing of Wanda Okay, so that's Carmen Cologne. Unsolved.
That's pretty horrifying.
They put up a giant billboard that says, "Do you know who killed Carmen Cologne?"
It's pretty horrifying that no one stopped a
Yeah.
girl who's like
Right.
clearly
If it was like
not
an
okay.
adult, I would be like, okay, that's kind of worrisome. But it's a 10-year-old girl. I'd be like, this person's needed help. Like, it's not the same.
This might be like definitely sexist of me, but if I saw a girl like walking on the side of the highway trying to get attention and like she was missing clothing, I'd be like, holy shit,
Yeah.
she like just got attacked. And then if it
was
was
a guy, I'd be
dude,
like, holy shit,
I'd
we
be like,
need to
that guy's
go.
out of his mind on drugs or
Yeah,
something.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. So the billboard reads, "Do you know who killed Carmen Cologne? Please help before it happens again. Reward for information total $6,000. Be a secret witness. No clue is too small." And then there's a phone number. So that's Carmen Cologne. Then there's Wanda Walkowitz, the second victim in the Alphabet murders. For over a year, police looked for Carmen Cologne's killer, and then the murder of a second girl indicated a possible motive. Wanda Walkowitz was 11 years old when her mother sent her to the local supermarket to pick up groceries for dinner on April 2nd, 1973. After buying $8.52 of groceries, Walkowitz vanished. Back then, we knew nothing about what can happen if you walk to the store, Walkowitz's sister Rita told the Democrat and Chronicle. A day later, police found Walkowitz's body at the bottom of a highway embankment in Webster. The two crimes looked startlingly similar. Both Walkowitz and Cologne vanished in the afternoon. Both had been strangled and raped. As fear swept through the Rochester community, police searched for suspects. Reports poured in, including a sighting of Walkowitz getting into a brown vehicle shortly after leaving the supermarket. But the Alphabet murders case remained open.
Ugh. Wait,
Yeah.
what year is this?
So the first murder is 1971. The second one is 1973.
So I don't remember. I haven't watched Mindhunter in a long time. But are serial killers like a thing at this point? Like, are they understood?
I mean,
or
the
defined?
70s is kind of like when it starts to pick up steam in terms of like the usage of the term serial killer, and then also
Okay.
just like serial killers getting press.
Yeah.
In that sense. Excuse me. So was a killer in Rochester targeting girls with the same first and last initial? Question mark. A third victim dies, and the police remain baffled. On November 26th, 1973, about 6 months after Wanda Walkowitz died, another Rochester girl went missing. 11-year-old Michelle Mayenza disappeared as she walked home from a shopping center. 2 days later, police found her body in Maston, M-A-C-E-D-O-N, Macedon. I don't know how to pronounce it. The Democrat and Chronicle ran a headline that read, "Killings hauntingly similar." Reports once again poured in. A woman reported she had spotted a young girl resembling Mayenza outside a fast food restaurant, and Mayenza's autopsy showed that she ate a hamburger before her death. A man recalled seeing a car stopped on the side of the road with a flat tire. When he stopped to speak to the driver, he saw a girl resembling Mayenza sitting in the car. The man driving made it clear he didn't want help. The witnesses described the suspect, and police put together a sketch. For weeks, police filtered through thousands of calls about the case. The man who killed Wanda Walkowitz is responsible for this murder, said a Rochester police officer after Mayenza's death.
Ooh, so they're
being definitive.
Yeah, which I feel like in our you almost never hear that in any of the stuff we talk about. They're like, we don't know. We're not gonna jump to any conclusions.
Like, we do not have enough. Yeah, we don't have enough evidence at this time to. Meanwhile, they're just like, it was this guy.
Rochester police are fucking vindictive.
So, the man who killed Wanda Walkowitz is responsible for this murder, said a Rochester police officer after Mayenza's death. There's a strong possibility that he also is responsible for killing Carmen Cologne. Police also wrestled with the strange features of the case. All three victims had alliterative initials, hence the name Alphabet Murders. The bodies were all found in towns with the victims' initials. Was it a coincidence, or did the pattern hold the key to solving the case? Suspects and theories in the Alphabet Murders case. So, who was the Alphabet Killer? Police investigated multiple suspects, including Carmen Colon's uncle. Horrifically, they turned up multiple serial rapists and murderers in the Rochester area in the process. So, apparently there was just a bunch of bad
I was going to say a
doomies.
lot of loose change in the couch that they just ended up scrounging up while looking for what they were actually looking for.
Yeah. Which I guess is good, but also like, oh,
Kind
God.
of damning of the police force.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what were they doing?
Were all these evil people together? Like they raided one house.
Yeah, and they were just like, it was just like it was
Two
like
for
a
one
Big
deal.
Brother episode, but
Yeah.
full of
Oh my
bad people.
god. MTV
and they were
Beach
all
House
vulnerable.
of evil people.
That would be a show I'd watch. No, I wouldn't. Not like
It would
maybe I
be
should
one of those things
refrain.
you would not condone it, but you'd have to
Yes.
watch.
Right. That's
It
what
would
I'm
be
trying to
must
say.
see TV, but then you'd be like, this should not be on the
Yeah, like,
television.
I can't believe they aired this.
Yeah.
Like this
So
got past
what?
standards and practices.
How is this legal? Would you
Joseph-
watch it if the show at the end was like To Catch a Predator, like they all got caught because they were on the show?
Ooh, so like we didn't know when it started, or
Right, like the show like invites them all and they're like, "Oh, we're not going to do anything." And then,
Oh, and then they
the
just do
season
things?
happens and at the end they're like, we caught you all." So
whoa, I
they're
have a great
definitely
idea, though.
profiting off of these evil people, but also they all get caught because of it. So where does the
What about this? What about this?
pondering
Death
the
row
morality?
inmates.
Yes.
Death row inmates.
Okay, Green Mile.
And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, you have them fight to the death gladiatorial combat style. No. It's just Big Brother, but with death row inmates, and whoever wins at the end doesn't get like killed.
So it's like a dystopian gladiatorial thing, but with
But it's still just normal Big Brother rules where they have to be like, you gotta find the
that's like
the
eerily. You should write a book with that concept because that's eerily like the direction I feel like America's going.
Yeah,
It's gonna be,
you're not wrong.
It's gonna be a death row hype house, like where this is
Death row
like
hype
the
house
worst
sounds
possible
sick.
American future is a death row
Yeah,
hype
that is
house
the
where they're all like have to make videos and whoever gets the least amount of TikTok hits
yeah, whoever gets the least views gets
God, that's
gets the
awful,
bootski.
but that's
They
I
like
would not
pack their
be
bags and everyone's at
surprised.
the door and they're like, bye, and the door opens and they're all trying to wave to the camera and be like, hey guys.
Yeah, when like
then the person
Logan
just, like,
Paul's
walks out and just-
president in like 30 years, that's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh god,
Oh god.
oh
Good
god,
thing I
George.
moved to Venice
Jake
Beach.
Paul's like the director of the armed forces,
Amen.
and he's still trying to box like the president of Iran or something.
That'd be sick, dude. Anyway, Joseph Nasso spent time in Rochester before a court sent him to death row for killing 6 women, including 4 with double initials, but no evidence connects him to the Rochester Alphabet murders. Yet DNA recovered from Walkowitz's murder
Wait,
ruled
no
out those...
evidence other than killing only people.
I was going to
with
say,
the-
well, 4 of 6, so he was at a
Oh,
66% double initial rate, but
that's seems statistically significant. I don't think there's
I
a lot
would
of,
agree.
unless in the 70s it was just like a thing to have alliteration, like a trend.
Yeah, everyone was like, everybody
Like
was illiterate.
yeah, everyone was
Yeah.
just fucking fresh off watching the Brady Bunch and had to.
Yeah. So DNA recovered from Walkowitz's murder ruled out those potential suspects unless her murder was committed by a different killer from the others. Serial killer Kenneth Bianchi grew up in Rochester before moving to California, where he became known as the Hillside Strangler. While he remains a suspect, he has repeatedly denied committing the Alphabet murders. True crime writer Michael Benson, who grew up in Rochester, believes the Alphabet killings were committed by multiple people. I believe Wanda and Michelle were killed by the same person, but Carmen was different, Benson told A&E. Subtle differences in the method of killing, as well as one witness's report of seeing 2 adults with cologne, raised the possibilities of a copycat killer.
It is very scary whenever we've talked about it, like the how unlikely it is, but how many times it's happened that a serial killer finds another serial killer and they
Yeah.
just like work together. That is scary.
And they're like, do we just become best friends?
Yeah, like literally though, like
Yeah.
it is horrifying. It's like super
Yeah.
villain shit.
It is, yeah. How do you even broach that stuff? What do you go to, like, the serialkillersingles.org or whatever. I don't know.
know.
I don't know. If
hey,
you know,
they do
write
it.
in.
Check out seasons 1, 2, and 3 of My Name Morning Macabre.
Because boy, do they do it. So, 50 years after they began, the alphabet murders remain unsolved. You have this aura of the initials, Robert Hetsky, a detective working on the case in
Wait,
2009.
did you say they're still unsolved?
Yep. No
That
one
sucks.
knows. So, are they connected? Are they not connected? We don't know that. It's
have
possible
to
that the double initials were a coincidence. Alliterative names were on trend when the victims were born. There you go, Sconey.
Hate to be right.
Vague evidence also means many possible suspects. In 2022, a TikToker posted that her grandfather might have been behind the alphabet murders. So we're not far from what we were just talking about with the Hype House. Newsweek
That's
reported...
awful. That is...
Yeah.
That hurts my feelings. I hate that.
She said he may have had a brown car like the one the killer was suspected to have, and that he owned a grocery store where cats prowled the basement for rats, and white cat hair was found on the clothes of all 3 victims.
White cat hair?
Yeah.
That seems... How could you not link them together? Were white cats in trend and brown cars? I mean, I guess they were. You don't see brown cars really anymore, but still.
That's true. I feel like in the 70s, everything was brown. Like
That's
all
true.
the cars and buildings.
Yeah, like pants and wallpaper.
Yeah, it's like...
But either way, like the white cat thing is pretty... That's way too coincidental. That would be a stretch. That like multiple different serial killers all had white cats.
Well, you know how evil people are. They always have a white cat on their
That's
like,
true,
lap
the
as
swivel
they
chairs.
plot. Yeah. So maybe it's not that weird. Her grandfather also spoke with Wanda Wakowitz on the day of her disappearance and offered a reward when she went missing. But with such vague clues, dozens, if not hundreds, of Rochester area men fit the profile. And with many of the original suspects dead, the alphabet murders will likely remain unsolved. So, Scones, you're lucky your name isn't Scones Salmon Belly,
That would suck.
or else you'd be in trouble.
Is that a hyphen or is the one word last name Salmon Belly?
Yeah, it's salmon. It's not like you're not. Your mother's maiden name was not like salmon, and your father's maiden name.
Could
was
I be
not
like
maiden name, father's last name?
into surfing and all my friends who surf call me the Slammin' Salmon?
Ooh, well, that's still alliteration. You'd be in trouble still.
True.
So I wouldn't do that. But that's the alphabet murders. Something that I think it's super interesting, just because it's like it does feel like it's a like fiction novel, like come to life. Like it's just too.
And it really bothers me that it's unsolved because it seems
Yeah.
so that anyone's like, we don't know if these are connected when they are. Like,
Right.
fuck it,
Yeah.
I'll say it. I'll come down on one side of the fence.
Scones is just like the Rochester police.
All the evidence that links them together, I don't know how you couldn't.
I'm still like, I think you should be like, yeah, this is the same thing. But I still can't believe they managed to catch anybody back in the day, back before like modern like evidence and like DNA testing and stuff like that. How did they ever catch anybody?
Especially without like modern cell phone grids and like
right, yeah. You can't. You don't know where anyone is. You don't know there's no way. There's like barely photographs. It's just so I don't know. It sounds insane to me.
The sketches were done by like the most artistic policeman, not like
yeah, right.
Now it's like AI that does
Barney's
it,
got
like,
wicked good.
Yeah. Bro, we went to art school for a semester.
Yeah, dude, I learned about perspective.
Now I think it's all AI done. So
yeah, right now you've got like computer. This kid's gonna look exactly like this in 20 years. You're like, wow, this is way better.
And like serial killers are the kind of unhinged people that would probably just throw shit all over social media anyway.
Right.
So like you can track them down. I guess that's the good side of everyone being all over everything.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's the alphabet murders. Very interesting story. Sad, macabre, but that's
very sad.
What are you doing here?
And
That's
very
what you came for.
I don't know. A lot of stuff that makes me mad in there, but that's how these usually go.
Yeah, be weird if you're like, I love that one part where everyone was murdered. Yeah, I feel
fully
at peace
satisfied.
now.
Yeah.
Really zen after that.
The fact that no one stopped for the first girl
Yeah, that's probably
what
the
was her
saddest
name?
thing. Carmen Cologne.
Carmen Cologne. No one stopped for her. The fact that that one police officer is the only one who seems to know that it was a serial killer was like, yeah, no, they fucking did
Yeah,
it.
it was.
Or whatever the accent
Yeah.
in Rochester is.
No, that was it. That's how cops
It sounds
talk
just
across
like
this.
southeastern Massachusetts, dude.
Yeah, dude, wicked sick Rochester police kid. So yeah, that's the story of the Alphabet Killers, guys. If you wanna follow us on socials, Twitter, Macabre Pod, Monday Morning Macabre on Instagram, and our website, mondaymorningmacabre.com for Patreon, merch, etc. If you wanna leave a rating, why not? Go ahead, go crazy. It helps us, and it doesn't do nothing to you. So do that. And beyond that, guys, I just want to say I love you so much.
Forever.
Bye.
Creamy, no crunch.